I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm very confident that if I tried to stream off my computer right now, it wouldn't go well. So we're going to try this, and hopefully it works well enough for us to at least get a little bit in here. Let me check. All right, can everybody hear me? Everyone see me? Okay. Okay, so this is the best I can do for tonight. If I try to stream off my computer, it will not go well. I think I can get away with this because the video just has a lot less in it. Herman, great. Thank you for the $4.99. 4 internet issues. Yeah, they're not fun. I'm really hoping they're gone by tomorrow because I had a lot of great videos I was going to do this week, but if I have to upload them like literally at this speed, then it's not going to work. So, look, I made a post-game video. You guys can't see it yet, so I made the short version, which you guys can see. If you haven't seen that post-game video, then go check it out. But basically, to me, this is an incredibly stupid team. This is a team that finds incredibly dumb ways to lose games. This is a team that has the lowest football IQ of any team in the NFL. And because of that, they lost a game that they really played well enough in to win. So, defense played a great game. They had one bad drive. And other than that, they played really well, but they made enough stupid mistakes to lose the game anyway. 4 drive extending penalties. I saw some of them, Jackson. The Marquise Blair penalty, the 4th down, offsides. Al Woods doesn't know where the hell he's supposed to be lining up. And yeah, you get the result you get. And the offense, like, I don't even need to say it. You guys know. Geno Smith started that game out playing fine, looking confident, looking comfortable, looking like he was under control. And then by the end of that game, he looked like he didn't want to be out there. He looked like he just wanted to go home. He looked like he wanted to go sit down and let Jake Luton play. Play calling is a disaster, and I'm going to not really put any of that on Waldron because I think Pete is probably taking control of this offense. We're running the ball up the middle 8 times in a row at one point. So, yeah, that kind of sums it up for me. I feel bad for Alex Collins having to run to the brick wall over and over and over again. And you get what you get. Right, guy, thank you for the $1.99. Fuck Pete Carroll. He did some things tonight that made me want to kill him because, I'm sorry, you cannot convince me. You can't convince me that Shane Waldron would ever do something like run the ball 8 straight plays. I know Geno sucks. I know. I get it. Geno sucks. And I wish we had somebody better. I know the weather was bad, but if that's the answer, I don't want to hear the question. So, I'm going to stream for like an hour here, maybe. I know it's not a great looking stream. I know it's not exactly what we like to do around here. I like to keep my stuff a little more professional. But this is all I can do now. So I am going to say, please like the stream if you haven't already. We got 65 people in here right now. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want daily Seahawks content. Donations via Super Chat are appreciated right now, especially right now, because these are hard times. These are lean times, man. This is a thin crust pizza we're eating right now. There's not a whole lot of cheese on it. There's not a whole lot of meat on it. Not a lot of sauce. And especially with my internet problems, I can use all the support I can get. You can also become a channel member. Click the join button down below to become a member. $2 or $5 a month. I mean, right now we're eating a pizza that ain't much more than crust. We got some crust, but there ain't much sauce or cheese or nothing. Do you think we should shop Dwayne? I would shop pretty much any guy on this team who I don't think can be here next year. Anybody who I don't think is going to be here next year, I will take what I can get for him. Jody should sell the team? Possibly. Did your power go out for a little bit? But that's not the problem I have right now. That's not the problem I have right now. My problem right now is I think the internet is down for a lot of people, so it's getting throttled. I can upload stuff from my PC, but it takes an eternity. So if I do stuff off of my phone, it's okay because it's not nearly as big, I think, because I don't do all the graphics on the phone, and I think the phone is lesser quality as well, although my phone looks pretty good, I have to say. But above everything else that happened out there tonight, this should really hammer home. This should really hammer home how stupid this team is, how low our football IQ is. And that should be the indictment on Carroll more than winning or losing, honestly. This is a dumb football team. I could go through a lot of examples of why this is a dumb football team, but I think you guys know. The Gerald Everett penalty, all the wasted timeouts on offense. I did not see. I did see the Griffey news. If we lose to the Jags, should Carroll get fired? Carroll should get fired regardless. But will he? Probably not. Viraj, thank you for the $1.99. We should go to Seahawk game and take Pete's knees. I don't need to kill the dude. I don't need to injure the dude. I don't need to ruin his life. I just want him away from my football team. I don't believe in him anymore. And unfortunately, the defense, I don't know if I want to say unfortunately, but in a way it's unfortunate. The defense played so good today. I don't think you're firing anybody. Yeah, I heard about what Pete said. I think he's probably just pretty sad right now. I think he's probably pretty upset, and he's just saying shit. And I think if he listens back to what he said tomorrow, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that. That was stupid. That makes me sound like I suck, and I know it." And he does, maybe he does, but I don't think he meant it that way, and I think he's probably going to look back at that tomorrow and be like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that." Alex Collins looked the most upset on his postgame. I feel bad for Alex Collins, man. All we did was run him into a brick wall over and over and over again. Do I think the outcome would have been different if Russ played? Well, yeah, Gino played so badly. How could it not be different? We might have still lost because the defense might have given up more stuff, but yeah, that was a really dumb thing that Everett did. And I'm pit and I know Marquise Blair. Oh, Austin Roberts, thank you for the $2. Pete is a dinosaur and game passed him by. Oh yeah, that's a very PG-13 way of putting it. But I don't know, guys. I don't know how obvious Pete has to make it that he doesn't belong here. Yeah, I think Blair's probably done for a while. Yeah, maybe Wiggy games. I'm not happy about that, but at this point, doesn't matter that much. He's obviously going to be here next year, and this season is not going anywhere, so I barely care. Like, who gives a crap at this point? This season sucks. We need to make some trades before the deadline. I hope this team is smart enough to realize it's time to blow this sucker up. I thought Adams played fine tonight. Oh yeah, when Russ gets healthy, you have to play him. You can't bench your best player for the rest of the for 8 games when he's healthy. Like, has there ever been an NFL team that has done something like that? No, that's not how things work. You have to play him. Yeah, Brooks played okay. I don't know who started. Sidney. I don't know if Sidney Jones played fine. I wouldn't say Sidney Jones played fine, but he didn't do anything that made me want to kill him. Yeah, Trey Brown's going to have some rookie growing pains, but I don't think he played bad. Jason Myers Walsh did. Yeah, the weather was bad, but he's starting to get on my nerves too, and I hate saying bad things about Jason Myers. And don't get me wrong, blaming Jason Myers for this loss is beyond idiotic. Do not do that because there are structural problems with this team. Don't blame it on something as random as kicking. Ryan Neal, he got beat up on that one play, but I'm not that mad at him. Well, I don't think Gino has a good report with Lockett. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Dom, it's not going to get up for a while though because my internet is just crawling right now whenever I try to upload a real video. It I might not get that video up for like a couple of days at this rate because it's so long. I might try to squeeze a couple of shorter videos out because I can do that. But at the end of the day, we would have won if we made both his field goals. Yeah, but him making his field goals changes everything else about that game. And besides, kicking in the NFL is random. There are things with this team that are going wrong that are not random, like the play calling, like the discipline, like the football IQ. That's what I'm going to spend time getting mad at. Kicking in the NFL is random. Bill Belichick's Patriots once missed out on the Super Bowl because their kicker missed an extra point. And that's Bill Belichick, the ultimate perfectionist. Even he can't get away from it sometimes. Maybe Mason, but he's not putting good film on tape right now. If I were another team, I wouldn't want to give up anything for him. Yes, Zillahawk, my internet still works. It just cannot handle uploading a gigabyte sized video. Like, it cannot handle a video of that high a quality, I think. That's why I can get away with it on my phone, because the video is not nearly as big. But hopefully this goes away in the morning. Yeah, the Berg show, but that's pretty common in the NFL. Yeah, Zillahawk. Yeah, Green actually played okay today. By the end of that game, I don't think Gino even wanted to be out there anymore. I think he just wanted to go home. Why should Lockett return kicks and punts? He wasn't good at it when he was doing it. Like, what's the point? No, Herman. I don't think so. My computer has a hardwire internet connection, so it can't get much better than that. Like, if I go to Wi-Fi and use my phone as a hotspot, well, for one, I don't get good coverage here. I don't get good 5G coverage here. It's actually kind of dog shit. So no, that's not going to work at all. Yeah, I'll believe this defense is turning around when they do consistent good work. Like, they played pretty good against Pittsburgh and they played really well tonight, but that could have more to do with the opposition than anything. Yeah, I would trade Diggs. Yeah, my computer's connected via Ethernet. I'm not even using Wi-Fi. And I literally started uploading my post-game video 2 hours ago. And it is at, let me look. It is at 22%. So maybe it'll be up by the time I wake up in the morning, but I have other videos I want to upload tomorrow morning anyway that are going to be more relevant by that point. No, you can't trade Jamal Adams right now. You got to wait and see what the next guy wants to do with him if you're bringing in a next guy. I didn't notice anything like that, Zilla Hawk. The guy who came the closest to an interception was probably Poona Ford. Poona Ford almost had an interception. He probably could have if he had put his arms out, but he's a defensive tackle. Yeah, Penny looked like he was trying too hard, which I kind of understand, but no, just not. I don't think Gino played too badly against Pittsburgh. He was pretty awful tonight, but you know what? I'm going to say this. Geno Smith is the quarterback that Pete Carroll deserves. Pete Carroll deserves to have a quarterback like Geno Smith. Yeah, Brandon, I think DK was winning his battles with Lattimore in the mental aspect of the game. Right now, they're not winning. He's not getting a ton of catches, so it is what it is. Possibly Mason Dahl. Yeah, play calling was bad, Ben, but Gino was terrible too. Like, sorry. At a certain point, you need to get the ball out of your hands. Like, we had a lead changing field goal lined up from like 45 yards, and then he takes a sack in an obvious blitz situation where if he just throws it away, we're kicking an easier field goal. Instead, we're kicking a 53-yarder in bad weather, and of course, he misses. Like, come on, guys. Well, Addison, of course, there's a chance. Like, I've said this before, I'll say it again. People ask things like, do you think there's a chance that the answer is almost always yes. Of course there's a chance. Is it a realistic chance? No. I mean, this is game number 7, and it seems like guys don't know if they're supposed to be on the field or not. Al Woods is a long-time NFL veteran. Why does he not know if he's supposed to be on the field or not? Yeah, Kyle Woods sucked tonight. That hurt to see. Mm. No, the Falcons actually can't trade Matt Ryan. They married themselves to him. Okay, by the way, we got 150 people in the stream right now, which is awesome. Thank you everybody for showing up tonight. Please like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and want daily Seahawks content. Donations via Super Chat or PayPal are always appreciated, especially on nights like tonight when I just had to watch this awful, awful game. And you can become a channel member for $2 or $5 a month. Well, that's most coaching staffs, Alex, but that's the thing. Um, the thing is, some coaching staffs have success, and this one is not right now. I know, Herman. Al Woods doesn't have any trade value. He's an aging fat tack. He's an aging one tech defensive tackle. Well, yeah, Daniel, we all know that Bobby's not worth 18 million, but at this point there's nothing we can do about that. All we can do is plan on cutting him after this season, and if we don't, I am going to throw a fit on YouTube. Like that 18 million's already spent at this point, I think, because nobody's going to trade for him. The Berg Show, are you crazy? If we don't cut Bobby Wagner next year, I am going to post like legitimate rant videos. Like not semi-rant videos. I will post actual rant videos. If we actually keep Bobby on his current contract next year, I am putting my foot through my TV screen. Who cares about tackles? Stop talking about tackles, everybody. Tackles are so useless. Okay? Okay. If Bobby Wagner tackles a dude 12 yards down the field, how is that helping us? And also, our run defense is terrible this year. This was literally the first game where the run defense, other than maybe the Colts game, where the run defense looked good. We have one of the worst run defenses in the league before this game. How can Bobby be playing fine if we can't stop the run? Addison, the defense can't get worse. The defense sucks with him. So what's the difference? What's the difference? Oh yeah, we're not going to be buyers at the trade deadline. There's no way. How can the defense get way worse without him? It's already bad. Like tonight, it was pretty good. Yeah, tonight was good. But overall, like if you take a look at what it was 2 years ago, this year, and for most of this year, it's been bad. It can only get so much worse than that. The Daniel Jones thing is my favorite. I want to trade Russell to the Giants for Daniel Jones and picks and give Daniel Jones a year to see if he can be the guy. And if he doesn't show positive signs, then you can try to get somebody else. And besides, we drafted Jordan Brooks as a middle linebacker. Jordan Brooks is a middle linebacker. He needs to get to play in the middle eventually. That's his natural position. He's out of position right now. We are never going to find out if Jordan Brooks is any good if we don't let him play his natural position. Well, Pete probably thinks this team can still make the playoffs, so we might not become sellers. I don't know. Crispy boy, you know how I feel about Mayo and coverage. Come on now. You know the answer to that. Hey, the Bears have a brighter future than we do right now. Will we give DK a massive deal? I suspect that we will. You think Brooks is a bust or no? It's too early to say he's a bust. He's headed that way, but I don't think he's a bust yet. I still say it was a terrible pick. The Jordan Brooks pick is probably the worst pick that Schneider and Carroll have ever done, I think. But it can work. He can still be a good player. Cam Newton probably wouldn't have won these games either. Like he doesn't even have a chance to know this offense. No, the Malik McDowell pick wasn't that bad. We got unlucky there. That's not our fault. Like we got unlucky with McDowell. How were we supposed to know that he was going to break his face on an ATV? Okay, we didn't know that. That's just random crap that happens. It's not our fault. Cam would have won these games. Have you guys seen Cam's arm lately? I keep thinking that Cam Newton knows how to play football anymore. Cam don't have no arm no more. Yeah, I'll bet Pete thinks we can still make the playoffs. That would be my guess. Cam is just as inaccurate as Gino. And say what you will about Gino because he did suck tonight. He's protecting the ball pretty well. Like he has two turnovers in like 2.5 games, right? And one of them was because Lockett fell down. Like you can't ask for that much more from your backup now. Tonight he should have gotten the ball out of his hands. I don't know if Gino's our best option right now, but he's probably close to our best option. I mean, you guys got to stop being so reactionary sometimes. Yes, Gino was awful tonight. He was not bad against Pittsburgh. He wasn't. That's a good Pittsburgh defense, just like tonight's a good Saints defense. Is winning 9 games this year realistic? I don't think it can happen, but it's not unreasonable. Look, the bottom line is when Wilson gets hurt, there are no good options. There are no good options when your starting quarterback gets hurt. The whole thing is built around Wilson. Nothing you do is going to be good. You just have to find the option that is the least bad. It's like choosing sodomy via iron, via rusty poker or castration via rusty knife. Like both options are bad, but you have to pick one. Yeah, Ben. Unfortunately, that seems to be the case. Yeah. For the record, I think that every game we play, I think all these results are making it more and more obvious that Wilson will get traded. I don't think there's any getting away from it anymore. This team has too many holes. Is Blair done? I feel like he might be, but we'll see. And honestly, guys, we're we're 2-5, and one of our wins is bullcrap. Like that 49ers game, I'm sorry, guys. The 49ers were crushing us, and then by some miracle, they only had 7 points because they didn't have a real quarterback, and shoot, what was I gonna say? You guys make me miss my train of thought. God damn it. I'm trying to read these comments on this tiny screen. Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, the Niners game. Yeah, the Niners, they didn't have a quarterback, they didn't have a kicker, so we managed to win that game even though they were dominating us for the first 20 minutes. Think about it. Like, be happy we won that game if you want to. That was a messy game. The Niners beat themselves. The Niners beat themselves. I'm happy they did. I'm happy we won, but they they beat themselves. So what have you seen this season that indicates to you that this team is good enough to get on a run? I mean, Daniel, does it matter? This season's a shot anyway. Like, why bring him back? We know he's going to be here next year anyway. I think we'll probably beat the Jags, but it doesn't matter. Do you have any hope for the near future? Yeah, if the team makes the right decisions. Every team is a couple of off seasons away from contending again. Every team is a couple of good off seasons away from contending again. You just have to have those good off seasons. Forget about Marquise Blair too. By the way, he's had 2 ACL injuries. Yeah, he's toast. He was a player who depended on his athleticism to some degree, and he's losing that now. If My recommendation would be to forget about Marquise Blair. Make believe he's not here. Do you care about trading Russ out of conference? Not really. Like that, some people think that rebuilding means you're going to be bad for 5 or 6 years. That's not the case. You can rebuild and be good almost immediately. I mean, maybe we lose to Jacksonville, but it doesn't matter. I think we probably win that game, but it doesn't matter. Look at how fast the Eagles that won the Super Bowl rebuilded. Look at how fast the Rams rebuilded from Jeff Fisher to Sean McVay. And guys, how much confidence do you have that this team can get on a hot streak? There are so many things that can go wrong like that. Like this team could get chugging and moving and they start winning some games and then, oh, there's the bad offensive line again. Or, oh, there's the receivers 8 yards open against our secondary again. Oh, pass rush is invisible again. All these things are just, all these things can rear their ugly head at any time. So even if this team does get on a hot streak and start winning games, you're still going to have it in the back of your head that they might just fall apart. No, I have sugar gliders, Cole. They're asleep right now. Mafuz, I don't think he will, but what you might see him do is stay and then try to use the Wilson draft picks in the trade to quickly turn it around so they can compete again in 2022, which is probably really stupid, but he might try it. He might try to slap a contending team together. Trey Brown did play, Daniel. I saw Trey Brown out there a lot. Yeah, but who cares about the Eagles long term? They won the Super Bowl. That's the goal, isn't it? Like, the goal is to win a Super Bowl. Who cares if you suck later? Who cares if you sell your soul for it? You think the Eagles are like, oh man, we shouldn't have won that Super Bowl. We could instead be getting eliminated in the second round every year for the next 10 years. No. Crispy, I think Collins is a better fit for this offense, but Carson's probably a better player, but at this point, Carson's long-term health is a question mark. Yeah, home field doesn't matter as much. Mafuz, if we make the playoffs, then we're probably going to run it back. Which, I mean, I'm not crazy excited about it, but I'm not going to turn down a playoff spot. I still want this team to make the playoffs. I mean, we came close to trading Wilson last year. Why do you think it's so impossible to trade him this year? You're going to be revisiting that same conversation. Except it's going to be a year older, a year of failure, and clearly this team needs assets to rebuild around. Yeah, maybe Russ beats the Steelers and Saints, but the thing is, the team would still not be very good. They would just have a band-aid over them in the form of a really good quarterback. So they would have a team that can win some games and might make the playoffs, but because they're stupid, they're not going to be able to beat the good teams and actually make a run. No, Cafty, I do not think they're going to make the playoffs regardless of any of this. And stop spamming the same comment in chat, please. If you have a comment that you really want me to read, then you have to send it in as a super chat or hope you get lucky. Yeah, Dwayne Brown's toast. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. And no problem, Crispy. Believe me, I ignore that stuff. I have haters. I have plenty of haters on YouTube. You just got to learn to ignore them. I don't really want Tua. I'm kind of over the Tua thing, and I liked him coming out of college, but I don't believe in him. Do you really personally think it's best if he leaves? Okay. At the risk of stepping on a future video, here's the thing, guys. However good Russell Wilson is, he clearly isn't good enough to overcome Carroll. Because we haven't made a deep playoff run in 8 years. Okay? However good Wilson is, the proof is in the pudding. He is not good enough to overcome what Carroll has done with this team because this team has not made a deep playoff run in 8 years. If Wilson was good enough to overcome that crap, it would have happened by now. And now Pete Carroll's crap has seeped too deep into this team where we have a shortage of veterans who are ready to be studs right now. There is a shortage of young players with high potential. There is a shortage of aging veterans who are still able to contribute. We do not have what it takes to give Wilson a championship team anymore. And we're not going to be able to get it. Like, as of right now, you go into this offseason, what pieces are you taking forward? Okay? You probably need like three new defensive ends, maybe one new defensive tackle, might need one linebacker. You're going to need a new safety because I think Diggs is gone. You're probably going to need at least one outside starting corner. And then the offensive line, you're going to need two new starting tackles. You're probably going to need a new center. You might need a new running back, maybe a new tight end because those guys have expiring contracts. How are you going to do all this in one off season? How are you going to do all that in one off season? It's possible, Mason. I think you could keep Schneider, but I don't know. Right, guy, thank you for the $1.99. We shouldn't rebuild. We need a damn exterminator. Feels like it sometimes. Okay, guys. I saw this same thing happen to the Dallas Cowboys 10 years ago. I want you to listen to me very carefully here because this is important. The Dallas Cowboys did this exact thing. The Dallas Cowboys had a terrible season in 2010, and it became clear that they were a terrible team that could occasionally play a close game because they had a good quarterback, and the quarterback got hurt, and you got the result that you got. So that offseason, the Cowboys realized they weren't any good, so they needed to rebuild, but they had a veteran QB in his prime who was really good. So a smart team would have gone, well, we have a really good quarterback, but we cannot give him a winning team. We cannot build a real team around him. So we need to trade him because by the time we build a real team around him, it's going to be too late because he's going to be old. Local Fisherman Wilson, thank you for the $2. This team is literally nothing without me, SMFH. In some ways, man. Okay. So for the next 3 years, the Dallas Cowboys went 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. And then they finally broke through, had one decent season, didn't win anything of substance, and then Romo's body broke down. Do you want to see this team go 8-8 or 8-9 or 9-8 for 3 straight seasons and miss the playoffs by one game? Is that what you guys want for this team? They went 8-8 for 3 straight years because Romo was good enough to win some games, but the team they had was so bad they were never good enough to win more than those 8 games. So they wasted 3 years. They built a great team with a lot of talent, but because it took them 3 years to do it, it was too late. Like, let's say it takes do you think Wilson wants to come back here in 2022 and be like, okay, I'm going to get the crap beat out of me for a year on a team with no chance? Do you think he's okay with that? Because next year, who's going to be our left tackle? It's going to be Stone Forsythe or it's going to be some rookie in all likelihood, some high drafted rookie, right? So either way, Wilson's probably going to get the crap kicked out of him in 2022. And you're probably losing Brandon Shell too. You're probably bringing in a new center as well. Gabe Jackson's game might drop off a little bit because he's getting older. Do you think Wilson's going to be okay with like, yeah, kick the crap out of me for a year. And hopefully we get it good in 2023 and then we can win again. Wilson's probably not down with that. We know that Wilson was open to a trade this offseason. He gave the team a list. I don't want a top QB. We don't have the team. We don't have the team to support a top QB. We have a top QB right now, and we weren't winning with him. And even when we were winning, we weren't winning on the highest level. We weren't making deep playoff runs. We have had an elite quarterback for the last 7, 8 years and haven't made one deep playoff run. So I'm sorry, guys. I think it's over. It's over, guys. It's going to take too long to rebuild the team that can get that elite quarterback over the top. I think okay, Ben, but here's the problem. Any coach that you bring in is going to want to bring in a lot of his own guys, almost certainly. Maybe you get like a Jim Harbaugh scenario, but if you bring in, just as an example, Kellen Moore, he's going to want to get rid of a lot of these players because they're not his players. He's going to look at a lot of these guys and go like, I don't like that guy. I don't like this guy. He doesn't work for what I want to do. And he's going to want to have a year to get the team that he wants together. So odds are very good that you bring in another football guy to run the team. He's going to say, I don't like these guys. A guy like, a guy like a Puna Ford. He's a good player, but you bring in somebody, they might look at a guy like a Puna Ford and go, I don't want him. Get him out of here. They might look at Jamal Adams and be like, I don't want him either. So there's going to be some stuff to rebuild here. You can't just plug and play a new coach. The next coach might be a 3-4 guy. You're going to have to rebuild the defense to get 3-4 guys because a lot of your guys can't do that. Some of them can. James, it depends. It depends. He'll probably stay for the moment because he wants the money ASAP. Well, the can I don't find it concerning. I find it to be hilariously truthful. Not well, Hazik. CAFT, what's the difference if you're not making deep playoff runs? If Wilson was good enough to overcome what Carroll is doing to this team, we would have made a deep playoff run in the last 7-8 years, but we haven't. So, however good Wilson is, he's not good enough to overcome what Pete has done to this team. And this season, we were headed to 2-3 with Wilson. Now, yeah, maybe Wilson would have won these last two games, but the team still wouldn't be where we need it to be. It would not be a Super Bowl contender even with Wilson. Then fire Pete. Okay, fire Pete. Then what? What do you do after you fire Pete? You bring in another head coach. That head coach is going to want to bring in his own guys. He's going to want to bring in his own system. He's not going to be able to just snap his fingers and say, okay, I'm going to take all these guys and take them to a Super Bowl. He's going to want to bring in his own pieces. He's going to want to bring in his own stuff. And that's not going to happen overnight. That's not realistic. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Jody Allen would choose Carroll because she just probably looks at the bottom line of this shit. Well, I think they both need to go, but the thing is, Carroll just got his contract extension. Like, if you hire Eric Bieniemy, okay, I'm going to use Eric Bieniemy as an example. If you hire Eric Bieniemy, what happens if he comes in here and is like, okay, get Jamal out of here. I don't want to pay 17 million to a safety. Then you're eating massive dead cap in 2022, and that's going to cripple your chances of competing. What if he goes? He's probably going to go like, get Bobby out of here. I don't want to pay a middle linebacker $20 million. That's a little more dead money you have to eat. He's going to look at some of these guys and be like, get him out of here. I don't want him. I'm telling you, a lot of the coaches that we could hire if we get rid of Carroll, they're going to look at Jamal Adams and go, get him out of here, and that's fine, but that's going to cripple your chances of competing in 2022 because of all the dead cap. So 2022 could be a bit of a punt season. CAFT, I don't think Waldron's really calling the plays. I feel like Pete's taken over at this point. There's no way Waldron did that. Like, come on, Waldron comes from that Sean McVay tree. But I'm going to talk way more about this later this week if YouTube allows me to upload or my internet or whatever you want to blame. I'm going to talk way more about this. I don't want to step on my videos. So, okay, here's the thing, Mafuzz. It's going to be hard to find a coach that likes the pieces that we have. Extreme example, but I'm going to use a little bit of an extreme example here. I remember last offseason, people were saying we should go get Wade Phillips to be our defensive coordinator. And what I said was Wade Phillips would not like any of these players because Wade Phillips is a 3-4 guy who's blitz heavy. Carroll is a 4-3 guy who never blitzes almost or doesn't like to blitz. So if you bring in somebody like a Wade Phillips, he's going to say, okay, we got to cut everybody and bring in guys that I can use. So that's not practical. If you bring in a lot of these head coach guys, they're going to look at some of these players and just go, I don't want that dude. That's my perspective on it. Oh, dude, if the Niners are stupid enough to fire Kyle Shanahan, I would hire him in 2 seconds. And the only reason why it would take me more than 1 second is because I would spend the first second orgasming all over myself, and then I would use second number two to actually call him and hire him. But are the Niners that stupid? Maybe. They did kind of run Jim Harbaugh out of town. It's possible. Uh, as much as Kyle Shanahan clearly has some issues, he's brilliant. And if you gave him a real quarterback, how do we lose our identity if we lose Wilson? Like, our identity is that we run the ball more than almost every other team. Like, you can do that just fine with any other quarterback. Ugh. I mean, God, Kyle Shanahan has never had a good quarterback except for Matt Ryan, and he turned Matt Ryan into an MVP. Like, I don't know what else you guys need to see from him. He's had crap quarterbacks ever since he got to Frisco. My number one guy is probably Kellen Moore. I think that's my dude. I like Kellen Moore. I would take Shanahan if the Niners fire him. Yeah, CAFT. I appreciate that. Well, to me, the Steelers are a good example. To me, the ultimate example were the Tony Romo Cowboys. They could have traded Romo and rebuilt. Instead, they decided to do a half-assed rebuild, and it ended up wasting all their time. Okay, and by the way, guys, we have over 220 people in the stream right now, so I want to say thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Please like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want daily Seahawks content. Become a channel member for $2 or $5 a month. And we are getting to the last 5 minutes of tonight's stream before I have to go. So if you want to send any super chats to help ease the pain of tonight, it would be appreciated. Yeah, rebuilds can take 2 years. The Eagles, I did a video with an example. The Eagles went from Chip Kelly destroying the team to one bad season to Super Bowl champs. The Rams went from Jeff Fisher destroying the team to one season where they had to purge the Jeff Fisher poison to making the playoffs to the Super Bowl. This stuff happens constantly. Thank you, OJ didn't do it. Robert, in many ways, it does. I can probably think of some other examples too. I think the Jets went from like Eric Mangini destroying the team to Rex Ryan taking them to the AFC title game and at the drop of a hat. Like some people seem to be convinced that we're going to be terrible for a decade if we lose Wilson. I don't understand this. We see teams lose their quarterbacks and then be fine, like, and turn it around quickly. You just have to find the right guy. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Wilson. He's not perfect. He's not perfect, but he's not good enough to overcome what Carroll has done to this team. And undoing what Carroll has done to this team is going to take a little bit of time. Maybe only a year, but it's a year that Wilson doesn't want to spend. Do you think Wilson wants to sit back there against a rebuilt offensive line next year and just get his ass beat? Get sacked 60 plus times on a team that has no chance of winning? You think he wants that? Of course we can find another franchise QB, Andrew. Is there a law saying that you can't? Like, of course. You think the Packers didn't have a hard time saying goodbye to Brett Favre and then they ended up with somebody who's probably better? Like, imagine if the Packers decided they were going to let Brett Favre play until he was 50 because they didn't want to say goodbye to him and just decided to let Aaron Rodgers go somewhere else at the end of his rookie deal. Think about it. Think of what they would have missed out on with Aaron Rodgers. What if the Chargers decided to just keep Philip Rivers forever and didn't draft Justin Herbert? Where would they be right now? Okay, Andrew, but look at the success stories. Look at Herbert. Look at, well, I'm not really going to talk about any of the rookies from the most recent class because I don't know, but look at Kyler Murray. Look at some of these guys. Does the Jamal Adams misuse remind you of Jimmy Graham? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just don't know why Wilson would want to stay here to get the crap kicked out of him on a team with no hope in 2022. The only way, I think the only way you keep Russ and have it be good would be if you hired somebody like Lincoln Riley and you sold Lincoln Riley on, hey, this defense, this team has a lot of talent. And if he bought into that and was like, yeah, I like a lot of these guys, then okay, maybe you could do the Jim Harbaugh thing. But unless you find somebody exactly like that who can do exactly that and then pull it off, it's really unlikely. Ownership root issue, maybe, but we can't do anything about that. Well, actually, I take that back. We kind of can, but not a whole lot. And by the way, I mean I think the Packers have basically admitted they're going to move on for from Aaron Rodgers after this year. And Aaron Rodgers is a three-time MVP. Wilson's never even gotten an MVP vote, so don't tell me that it's impossible to acknowledge that it's time to do something different with your future Hall of Fame quarterback. Okay, Avenue Empire, then you need to find something else to be your identity and rebuild around that. I mean, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, we're going to be bad for a little while if we lose Wilson, but we're kind of bad right now with him. We were headed to 2-3 with a bullcrap win with Wilson. So I don't know what the difference is. And that's really all I got. We've been going for an hour. I'm going to get out of here. I'm tired. I've said all I can say, but I'm going to have a lot more to say in the rest of this week. Hopefully, the internet allows me to. So I'm going to get out of here. Peace out. Go Hawks. See you guys tomorrow. Another stream tomorrow, one way or the other, so we can talk about this some more, but I'm done. I got to go. See ya.